Hey dear, welcome back to Habits That Thrive. I am Iron Victory, and if you're here, you're probably someone who wants to build better habits and create lasting change in your life. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about a powerful but often overlooked habit, self-reflection. Let's be real, most of us focus on consistency when we try to build habits. We think, I just need to show up every day and eventually it will stick. But what happens when a habit feels like a struggle? Or when we are consistent but we don't see results? That's where self-reflection comes in. Self-reflection is that secret tool that helps you fine-tune your habits, making them more effective and sustainable. It helps you identify what's working and what's not, adjust your habits so that they actually fit your life, keep your habits fresh and meaningful instead of robotic. So in this episode, we'll cover why self-reflection is the missing piece in habit building, the right way to reflect without overthinking, simple prompts to guide your self-reflection, and real-life examples to make this practical. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with a friend who is also on a habit building journey. It really helps get the message to more people. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with why self-reflection is so powerful. Here's a quick question for you. Have you ever stuck with a habit for weeks but didn't feel like it was making a difference? I'll give you a personal example. A while back, I set to start reading every morning. I wanted to be one of those people who breeze through books, gain new insights, and become more knowledgeable. So every morning, I set a timer for 30 minutes and read. And guess what? I did it for an entire month. But when I look back, I realized I wasn't retaining anything I read. I often caught myself rereading paragraphs because my mind wandered. Some mornings, reading felt more like a task than a joy. If I hadn't taken time to reflect, I would have just kept going, thinking I just need to try harder. But instead, I asked myself, is this actually helping me? Is there a way to make this work better for me? And that led me to a small tweak, switching my readings to evenings when I was more relaxed. Instead of 30 minutes, I did 15 and I absorbed much more. Now think of habit building like driving a car. If you're on the wrong road but never checked your GPS, you just keep driving in the wrong direction. That's what happens when we build habits without reflection. We keep going and going even when they're not working for us. Here's the key takeaway. Consistency without self-reflection can lead to wasted efforts. A habit only works if it serves you. Okay, so we know self-reflection is important, but how do we do it without falling into the trap of overthinking? Because let's be honest, some people hear self-reflection and immediately they're thinking, oh no, I don't want to sit around overanalyzing everything I do. No, that's not it. Think of self-reflection like a quick check-in, not a deep psychological debate. One method I love is the ask, adjust, and act approach. I'll explain. The ask approach, right? That is you asking, how is this habit making me feel? Is it working? The adjust approach is you adjusting if something isn't working. You're saying, what small tweak can I make? And then the act approach is you implementing the change and you keep going. So you ask, you adjust, and you act. Let me give you another example. Suppose you start journaling every night, but after a few weeks, you noticed you're too tired at night, so you end up skipping. Your journal entries feels repetitive, so it's not enjoyable. Instead of feeling reflective, you feel pressure to write something meaningful. Without reflection, you might think, maybe I'm not just the journaling type. But a quick check-in might lead you to small but powerful adjustments, like try journaling in the morning instead of nights. Use bullet points instead of long-form writing. Focus on one specific question per day instead of trying to write everything. Another example is you decide to work out every morning. Okay, you self-reflected and after 2 weeks you're realizing you feel exhausted because you're not getting enough sleep. You keep missing workouts on busy mornings, which makes you feel discouraged. You enjoy exercising, but morning workouts feel like a struggle. Now, instead of forcing yourself to push through, your reflection would show you that evening workouts could work better for your body and schedule. A small shift that can make a huge difference in long-term consistency. That's what self-reflection helps you achieve. Now the key is not to judge yourself, just observe and adjust. Self-reflection isn't about giving up, it's about adapting. Now let's talk about how to make self-reflection a habit itself. One easy way, use prompts. Here are a few examples you can use. 1. What's that one habit that is really working well for me right now and why? 2. What's one habit I keep struggling with? Why? 3. What's one small tweak I can make to improve a habit I'm struggling with? 4. Am I actually enjoying this habit or does it feel forced? 5. Does this habit align with my long-term goals? These prompts are to ensure your self-reflection is not, too deep and you're not feeling like you're overthinking it. I'll share you a friend story. So this friend of mine decided to wake up 5 a.m. every morning. One day she asked herself, why am I forcing this? She was already overwhelmed and she didn't feel like continuing. But at that question point, she realized that she didn't need to wake up 5 a.m. Of course, she needed to prepare for work, but her schedule can allow her to wake up 6 a.m. and still get everything done. So she adjusted, started waking up 6, and that way she felt more energized throughout the day. So that's the beauty of self-reflection. It saves you from unnecessary struggles. And you can do this weekly or monthly, whatever way that works for you. So let's wrap up this with a few key takeaways. 1. Habit building isn't just about consistency, it's about reflection and adaptation. 2. Self-reflection doesn't have to be too deep or complicated. You just need to be consistent using the formula ask, adjust, and act. And then 3. A small tweak can be the difference between a habit that thrives and one that fades away. I want you to leave today's episode with this thought. The best habits aren't just consistent, they're intentional. So, take some time this week, just a few minutes, to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, is this habit serving me? Is there a way to make it even better? I hope this episode gave you some insights to help you refine your habits and make them more sustainable. And remember, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who's also working on your habits. Your support helps this podcast grow and reach more people. Thanks for tuning in to Habits That Thrive. Until next time, keep reflecting and keep growing. Bye.